Hey everyone, it's Lewis from Capital Convention. Welcome to our next online session. So, I know it's going to take a minute for people to jump in here. So, this is basically for the replay that I'm talking now. But as you jump in, send me a message. Just let me know that you're in here and we'll get started. But tonight, or I should say every week now, we're going to start this process of having these online classes. And these are meant to go over the different art forms that are represented at Capitol Convention. But it's for anyone to watch because whether you're a face painter, a magician, a balloon artist, it doesn't really matter because there's something that all the art forms can learn from each other. So if you're a beginner, if you're an expert, if you're a seasoned performer, you're in the right spot because we're going to have information every week that goes over different aspects of children's entertainment. And it could be we've got puppet classes coming up, and uh, I know that we've got another clown class coming up next week, and so we've got all kinds of fun things to show you. But let me welcome you to tonight's class, and we'll get started in just a minute. I just want to again make sure it looks like we've got some people popping in now. So if you're here, this is an interactive session. So I recommend you to make comments. So whatever thread that you're watching this in, make comments or questions because it's a very interactive session. You're going to see questions, or you're going to see comments that people put onto our Facebook posts, and it's actually going to pop up on the screen. And this is great for our presenters so that they have an opportunity to say hello to you. But it's interactive so that if you have questions throughout the talk, the lecture, then you can actually ask those questions and get those answers live for you. Caroline has been so nice to jump on live, even though it's very late where she is. So I'm sure there we go. So hey, Virginia, we'll let her talk about that. But without further ado, let me introduce tonight is Caroline Ravn, and so she came and spoke at Capitol Convention. So if you were there, you saw her class there. She has a book that she's written. I just looked. Yeah, here it is right here. So books, and so she flew across the ocean to come hang out with us and speak at Capitol Convention just about a month ago. And so people loved the class. I knew from watching her videos and her Facebook videos and TED Talks and stuff that she'd be a huge hit. We got great compliments. And so that's why I think that you're going to enjoy tonight, because if you were at the convention, she's got some different things to share with us tonight. And if you were not at the convention, then this is all brand new for you. So I'm gonna bring Caroline on. So here we go. Welcome.
Hello. I feel
Hello.
like I should be in pajamas. It's 1 a.m.
Yeah, 1 a.m. where you're at. So again,
Yeah.
thank you so much for that, because that is huge. That's actually a real commitment for you to come on and do this live. So I
Yes.
appreciate it.
It's going to be so much fun. And as you said before, Lewis, this is interactive. And so I would like everybody to, if I ask a question, feel free to add as much as you want in the comments. So I'll be asking questions like, have you done this before? Have you ever worked with these kind of people before? Do you use a calendar? Things like that. A simple yes or a thumbs up is good enough. But just make sure you're interactive in this conversation, and it's going to fly by.
Yeah,
Especially for
exactly.
me, who needs to go
Yeah.
sleep.
So you're up late, and then I know that you've got a lot of stuff to share, and I hope that we've been sticking to this format of about 45 minutes to an hour. So I don't want to take up any more time. So what I'll do is I'm going to remove me from the screen, but I'll be right here, and I'll be watching the questions and comments and let you know. But if you're ready,
I'm ready.
take the screen.
Fantastic. Amazing. So if we're just meeting, my name is Caroline Ravn, and I've been a full-time magician for the past 11 years, which is crazy. And today I want to talk about some things from my book, The Business Side of Show Business. And specifically, I want to talk about agents, outreach, and content creation. So if you don't know me, I'm a magician, I'm a content creator, I'm a 5x TEDx speaker, author, and I am very dedicated to my work. So much so that I performed up until week 34 while pregnant with twins. You heard that right. I got twins, and for a really long time, I wanted to name them Siegfried and Roy, but my partner said no. Yeah, more on that later, I guess. But these are them. Very, very tiny babies. That's Lex and Loa. And this is them today. Well, actually, 6 weeks ago. Little rascals, and I love them to death. So you're in the right place if you are ready to take a more serious grip on your business, and if you're curious about reaching out to new people that you don't know yet and learn about content agents, a little bit of AI, because why not, and a lot more things. And I have to say that I'm sorry, because there will be no tricks today. And I know some magicians, that's a deal breaker, but there will be no tricks today. So I wanted to throw ourselves right into the first topic, and that's going to be about managers and agents. So the guy you see here to my left in this photo is Stefan. He is my newest person added to the team. We have worked together. Well, we've talked for about a year, but we have officially worked together since, I'd say, October, maybe. So he is a manager. And I want to just briefly mention the differences between a manager and an agent if you don't know. So a manager basically takes care of your brand and takes care of all the like overhanging things in your business. Whereas an agent is usually somebody who books gigs for you or handles contracts or things like that. So in a minute, I'm going to share with you a couple of different ways to actually find agents, because I believe that's easier than finding a good manager. So a lot of people have fears about managers and agents. And I hear things like, oh, but they're just going to give me bad gigs. They're going to take away too much of the money. How do you find the right ones? And how do you make sure they don't sell you to the wrong things? And I totally understand the anxiety that comes with working with other people. But I think the main thing is this is such a brief moment we have together here. But I think the most valuable thing that I have found by working with agents, which I've done for a really long time, is that giving away 20 to 30% of the income that they provide for me, it leaves me with, 70 to 80% of money that I would never have if that money didn't come from somebody else. So as I said, I've been doing this full time for a long time. And I think last year I was doing my numbers like for where the money came from, and 72% of the money that got into my business was from other agents booking me directly. And we're going to talk about that in a second too. But I would like everybody to add in the comments if you've ever worked with an agent before or a manager. Just let me know if, like, kind of where you're at on this. And I also want to share with you different ways to find people who actually can work for you. So the way that I do this is that I have an open calendar system. If you were to see my lecture at Kidvention in January or early, was it? Oh my goodness, it was February. It feels like it was a million years ago. It was not, but it feels like a million years ago because I had my appendix removed. Okay, that was crazy. But yeah, let's bring it back. This is something that I shared during that session, and I want to share it with you here too. And I want to show you how to do this. So I have a shared calendar system, and it looks like this. Let me just share my screen with you, and I will find it here for you. You will go into your Google Calendar. I find is easiest. Let's just double check. You can see my screen, I hope. You want to go to you see here, I have different email addresses. Take Over the World is my favorite one, but I don't share that with anybody else. This is my main one, the orange one. So you will press on the side here. Mine is in Swedish. I'm sorry about that. But this is the calendar settings. And all of these people here have direct access to my calendar, which means at any given time that they want to book me for anything, they don't have to call me, like, at all. They don't have to do anything, right? They just have to go into my calendar and they can see if I'm available or not. This brings up a lot of opportunities. Like today, I got a message from one of them, like an actual text message. She said, I Hi, you have to let go of the 28th of April. I have booked that in your calendar already. So they can actually go in and they add things to the calendar, sometimes without me even knowing. Most of the time, actually, without me even knowing, because I don't have to do anything. So let me share my screen one more time. So how you do this is you will scroll down your calendar settings, and this is shared with. And down here, you add people or groups. So here you can add the person or the calendar person that you want to add. So you see here, this here is Atenas. This is my assistant. This is Atenas. So a lot of these people work for the same company. Most of them, actually. This is my main agent. This is her other email addresses. This is my other assistant, and then Atenas and Atenas. So most of the time when they go into my calendar, let's say they talk to a client, let's clean this up a little bit. So they see this, okay? So if they talk to a client and they want to book me for, let's say they want to book me for May, they check May, maybe May 16th. Okay, they can see, okay, she's available. So they're talking to this client, right, on the phone. And the client says, oh, we are looking for an MC, we're looking for a magician, we're looking for whatever it is that they're looking for. It's the 16th of May. Do you have any suggestions for us? I have now talked to these people so many times, like these agents. I go to their office all the time, like just for a coffee. I say that I was on the way or I was just passing through or whatever. That's never true. I never pass through that area because it's a different city. Sometimes it's different city, and I just go in there to have a coffee and chat and whatever. But I've basically trained them to tell the clients on the phone that I can actually see that Caroline's calendar is open for this, and it's going to book fast. So if you want me to block this off in her calendar, you better act now because I know that she's super busy. Uh, and they do. And as I said, 72% of my income last year came from that, just from them having direct access, never having to call me because I fly all over the place. I do a lot of cruise ships. I'm going to Vegas tomorrow to be there for 2 weeks. So it's not like easy for them to get a hold of me at all time. It's a 9-hour time difference too from Vegas to Stockholm. So the way that I've done this is to find, I don't know how many people were there. I don't know, 18 maybe different people who can actually do this. By having all of these people be able to do this, it gives them the opportunity to help the client even faster. And that's one of the things that I try to strive to do as much as I possibly can, to always be the extra value provider, basically. So if you ever feel like you are difficult to work with or anything like that, I want you to just step back for a second and have a look at the way your customers go through being aware of what you do and to actually booking you for something. And I've done that journey a million times in my head because sometimes we complicate things. We put different barriers up, like on the website. Maybe now there's a form and you have to fill this in, and I'm not a robot, and then you get an automated message back, and then somebody has to call them and they have to negotiate or whatever it is. The more we can streamline and make this process easier, I think we're adding so much more to the people who are going to book us. And that's kind of the feed that I want to provide to people too. Like I want them to understand that we're giving so much value.
I had a question for you.
Yes.
So I know because I can see some of the people who are commenting. Some There are agents who are the agents that you're speaking of, and then there's like face painters and balloon artists. They also work with agents, but they're not specifically these necessarily an entertainment company that's hiring. So it could be another face painter who is looking to book a particular gig, and they have a lot of gigs coming in and they need a handful of face painters that can handle these gigs, and so they reach out, hey, are you available, are you available, are you available? Looking at your calendar system, um, would it be beneficial, do you think, for them to also open up a calendar for these different people who happen to send jobs their way? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. And if I can just share my screen one more time, you can see here I have different calendars for different things. So like this one down here, this is this one. This is only connected to meetings that I have. So if I have a meeting that is in here, it doesn't affect the things that I'm doing for the open one. So if you want to start opening up your calendar, make sure it's clean enough so that when you are actually sharing the calendar, there's not the things like my dentist appointment or laundry day or whatever. It needs to be super clear what it is happening in there.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing because you created a separate calendar for it. So like you'd mentioned, you can create in Google, you can create different calendars, and then
Yeah.
some people can have access to just that one particular calendar. So my
Yeah.
personal calendar, no one else could see that, but my business calendar may be open for people to see. So I think
Yeah.
that's a great idea because in their world too is they just want to know, are you available? And if they can see, looks like next Saturday you are open from 4 to 6, I'm going to book it. And if you're open on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm just going to book you, and then you contact them and just say, hey, listen, I booked you, I put it in your calendar.
Yeah.
And I think it's not for everyone because I think it's just for the people that really want to get their calendar booked, and
Yeah.
and they're open to letting people see what it looks like. So yeah, it's a great idea. So thanks.
100%. It's a game changer for me and something I highly recommend you guys do too, especially just having one system that is for the calendar. So in my case, my calendar is Caroline Ravn calendar at gmail.com. So if you email Caroline Ravn calendar at gmail.com, you're going to get an automated response that says, hi, you have not reached Caroline Ravn. However, you have reached her calendar. If you booked a meeting with Caroline, everything is good. And if not, and if you're looking to book a gig or whatever it is, this is the email to the manager, right? Because I don't want anything else to interfere with the calendar thing. I never share it with anybody else. I share it with the agents and the bookers because they want to have access to that thing. So if somebody needs to send me a Zoom invite or whatever, they send it to a different email address. That's the info@carolineravn.com. Okay. So that's also why we saw this here. So this info here, if we remove this again, all of these are meetings that I have. Like all of the purple ones are meetings that I have. And those will never show up for the agents that only see this. So I also want my agents to see that I am booked like this, like I have a lot of things going on. So they see that, okay, it's opening up a little bit here, a little bit here. But you can also see, if you pay attention, that some of them are marked like fully circled in yellow and some are not. And the ones that are not, they cannot see as blocked in my calendar. So this is a meeting that I usually attend, and I'm not really sure that I will because I want to make sure it's open for gigs. Same thing here. I have a meeting at 9 that I have to attend, but not the 4:30 one. I really don't have to attend if I don't want to. So if somebody wants to book me for like a walk around or something early or a conference even that day, they see that I'm still available at that time. I hope that makes sense. Oh, that was too much information. There we go. I'm back. Amazing. Okay, let's go back to this. And I also wanted to show you how ChatGPT can help you find agents and agencies. And this is kind of a new thing that I feel like people have not really taken advantage of yet. So I also see there's a comment. Give me 1 second. If the meetings don't show up, how do you prevent an agent booking over a previous non-gig commitment? That doesn't happen because the calendar is so like it is so solid. Like there's no way of anything else coming in. As you see, let me share my screen again. As you see here, all of these are blocked, so the agent will actually see all of this. So I don't think I have a way of seeing it without these meetings, unfortunately. Let me just read that question one more time so I see that I get it correctly. How do you prevent an agent booking or previous non-gig? Oh, well, yeah. Usually, in my case, I do a lot of corporate shows. I don't really do kids' birthday parties and stuff like that. So um, most of the time, I get booked 3 to, I don't know, 20 weeks in advance, right? And if I have a dentist appointment in 3 weeks, I can always move it. And I know that a lot of family entertainers, they sometimes get booked on like a shorter span. Is that the word? It's 1:20 a.m. But you see what I mean. So if there's something that can be moved, it should be moved, in my opinion, to make room for the gig. I hope that makes sense. All right, I wanted to show you this too. So I have actually prepared a little bit I want to go into ChatGPT, my best friend. If you haven't tried the 4.5 yet, it's phenomenal. I also have prepared this little text to save us time. Okay, let's clean this up a little bit. So I'd like help finding good agents and agencies who book magicians to perform at corporate events. I'm specifically looking for agencies who already provide magicians for events and who have listed their agents' contact information on the website. Please exclude birthday parties, school assemblies, and other family-oriented types of events. I'm specifically looking to find agents who book for corporate gatherings. I also don't want other magicians on the list. I want agents, not my competition. Please provide a list of 10 based in around the Washington, D.C. area. So let's see what it comes up with. So this is going to take a second. Okay, here we go. So we have, okay, this was not a big match because this is a magic entertainer. Lou Serrano, that's a friend of mine. That's also a magician. Okay, let's try another way. Let me just see so you don't have questions. Okay, that's good. It's every time I share my screen and I go back to see if you guys have written, it's like chaos in there. Okay, let's try something else then. Thank you. You should always be kind to AI, by the way. I've created a new show. It's called AI Can't Read Your Mind, but I can. That's going to be so fun. But yeah, so okay, thank you. I'd like a list of 10 agencies who book balloon artists in the Washington, it's going to understand me, DC area. Let's see what it gives us. Here we go. If you don't already have somebody to refer you, like you refer gigs to, if you have, like, let's say you have a gig that comes in and you can't take it for some reason, make sure you have somebody to refer that to. So in my case, I have, I don't know, 5 or 6 magicians that I refer a lot of work to. And I take 20% because I think that's reasonable, because an agent would take 20 to 30 anyways. And I'm also giving away like a risk and a client in a way. So I feel like it's a fair trade. But let's see here what we got. I managed to do that correctly. I hope you can see my screen. But yeah, here we go. Here we have a couple of different ones. We have Washington Talent Agency, Balloon Zoom, Nova Parties, bunch of different things here that we can have a look at. Can go into their website, we can call them. So if you haven't used ChatGPT to actually find information like this, I highly recommend it. I even created a project up here this is the AI Can't Read Your Mind, but I can. The entire lecture is in here. All my ideas are in here, and it's basically just helping me structure everything. I have my social media guide in here. So whenever I have an issue, if I want to maybe do more things on LinkedIn or whatever it is, I add my problem in here and it helps me so much. Like launch, engage, and network. Like it gives me all the steps that I need to take to be able to actually go to the next level on things, which I think makes a lot of sense. And from what I've understood from doing a lot of corporate events and a lot of MCing, like daytime when they talk about AI, is that people are kind of scared of the complexity, but also how easy it is to use it. So if you haven't tried it at all, I highly recommend you to do so. And I will be giving away free lecture notes on this. So in the lecture notes, I'm going to give you a couple of prompts that you can use. If you don't know what a prompt is, it's basically the text that you include into ChatGPT, let's say, if that's what you're using. So I'm going to give you a couple of different prompts that you can use to find clients, to find leads, to know how to reach out to people and all of that kind of stuff, because I want you guys to be able to use it and not be afraid of it, because it's a huge tool to use. But yeah, so that's basically how I use ChatGPT to like kind of guide me in the right direction if I need to do something. And content, something that we all have to talk about, no matter if we're magicians, balloon artists, face painters, ventriloquists. Also, why is that word so hard to use? But yeah, so content, my top picks are LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And I am obsessed with something that I call the rule of the 100. I believe I heard Alex Hormozy say it first. And it's basically using the rule of 100, no matter if it is spending $100 in AdSense or like spending on ads, or spending 100 minutes in creating content, or reaching out to 100 people. So that's what I do every day, like either spending on ads or reaching out or creating content. This year, I've been kind of lazy because, as I said, I have two kids. Not lazy, that's not the right word. In Sweden, we're allowed to save maternity leave up until the kids are 4 years old. So as we got twins, we got 660 days paid parental leave. So I saved 180 days for now because they're 3 years old. So I'm bringing them to museums all the time and to the playground, and it's phenomenal. It's fantastic. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm spending a lot of money on ads instead. But when I am creating content, I feel like for me, it makes more sense to go with LinkedIn because that's where business professionals are. And then Instagram because we are visual entertainers. And then third is YouTube. However, I do have to say that YouTube has changed my life in more ways than we have time to talk about here. Just a few of the things that it's done for me is I got my first TEDx talk from having a YouTube channel and from people understanding that my English is good enough to be able to do this. And I've got a lot of sponsored deals. I got a sponsored car, which was crazy. All the strollers we have for the kids, all the car seats, all the things are sponsored. We get free upgrades when we're flying, get free pool aside hotel rooms and whatever. Because I share things from the hotel in my YouTube videos. But I feel like the most thing that it's been giving me is the confidence to talk on camera, the editing skills, and also audio editing, and just having simple editing skills. Like you don't have to have a YouTube channel to be able to start doing something like this. But I think that, as I said, we are visual entertainers, many of us. And just having that extra skill set of being able to produce something, like at all gigs that I go to, I don't have that camera here because it's I literally live like 9 minutes walk from here, but it's in the middle of the night. So I took it into a hotel that is 20 steps outside of my office building. So that's where I have the camera I usually bring. But try to bring a camera with you like all the time when you're doing anything. Just snap some photos, shoot some video or whatever. Use your phone. The one that I'm currently obsessed with, it's called the Osmo Pocket 3. It's great. Like it has this feature where if you double press the screen, it's very small. I wish I had it here. It's literally this big. This is the attachment. I don't even think it's this big. It might be a little smaller. This is a battery pack and a gimbal that comes with it. So you can put this literally anywhere. But yeah, so you double tap the display and it centers on your face, like it locks in on your face. So if you put the camera like back here, you put it here and you start walking away, the gimbal in the camera is going to follow you. So it looks like you have a cameraman with you. Just imagine the things you can do with that, right? So bring it to a festival, bring it wherever you go, and just be able to have it really looks like you have a cameraman following you. It looks phenomenal. Another little gadget tip for you is to have, if you have an iPhone, is to get an Apple Watch because I can open my let me see here if I can do it real quick. I can open my camera. Osmo Pocket 3 is what it's called. Osmo Pocket 3. It's really good. So I can now open my camera from my watch and I can put my phone anywhere, like on the screen or whatever. Here, let me see here. So if I am doing something on stage, I can put it. I usually don't have the funny duck when I go to the shows, but then I have the black one. But I can take photos right here. I'm taking photos right now from my watch of myself on my phone. So it didn't turn out well because I was, but here it is. Literally took this of me just now from my watch. So don't be afraid of using gadgets and making sure that you understand the technology. And as I said, YouTube really changed my life. I am currently sitting in an office it's quite big. unfortunately, the camera is mounted to this table, like all of these, like the lights and everything. Let me just turn these off. Like everything here is connected. All of these are always here. It's a big office. And so this is where I record everything. And then on the other side is like the office space. Yeah, so this is what I have here. This office is $2,000 a month. I also feel like I'm a little blurry, so I'm going to do that. So there we go. It's $2,000 a month. And there we go. I took a photo of me. That's why I blinked. And I created a YouTube video, one YouTube video, like literally one YouTube video 3 years ago. And it has generated over $12,000. Just that one video alone. And it pays for this office every month. And that video was, it doesn't have like a huge amount of views, but it has something that I love and use all the time, and it's affiliate marketing. And that is something that all of us can start using if you want to start a YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. Make sure you are adding yourself into like Amazon affiliates or anything like that. So whenever you recommend a product and somebody purchases that product, you get a small commission. So I get, is it 50%, I believe, on the service that I'm recommending in the YouTube video that I just mentioned. So that YouTube video is all about how I use Epidemic Sound, which is, if you don't use it, I'm not paid saying this. If you use my link, I'll get paid. But yes, it's a huge service where you have royalty-free music and sound effects. So if you want to create fun videos where you don't have to worry about being ever copyright claimed on YouTube, that's the tool to use. It's also a Swedish company, so I really enjoy using it because I like, I'm a little bit of a patriot. What is that word? Patriotic. I don't know. But yeah, it's a great service. And so if you're not already using affiliate marketing in the things you're doing, you're missing out. So if you're using balloons, tell everybody which brand it is, where to buy it, and make sure you get a small commission. The main takeaway today that I wanted to share, even though we're 30 minutes in, is I want to talk to you about cold outreach campaigns. As I mentioned, the rule of the 100 means that we send or we talk to 100 people, if that's the 100 we're choosing that day. And sending 100 emails or talking to 100 people, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And it's going to take you all day. And there needs to be a system to be able to do this easier. So please comment and let me know if you've ever used a outreach campaign program before, if you're using newsletters or anything like that. And in a minute, I'm going to share with you the way that I do this. So this year, have I sent 2,000 emails maybe? Like I've sent a lot of emails. So sometimes I can go for months sending out 200 emails a day. And it basically becomes a full-time job. That's also why I have a full-time assistant to take care of these things for me, because otherwise I don't have time. Yeah, I'll show you exactly what I do and how to do it. And I'm also in the free resources that you'll get if you scan the QR code in the end. I'm going to share with you like prompts to use for ChatGPT on how to actually find leads too. So there's going to be a lot of different things that you can get out of this. I don't know if I'm going to send all of it in one or if I'm going to give you like different things in different emails. I haven't really decided because it's 1:35 a.m. But yeah, you'll be able to get it like in the next few days or so. But yeah, so let me show you my screen again. Here we go. So there are different tools to find email addresses. My favorite tool to find anything is LinkedIn. Okay. So if you want to go to LinkedIn, if you haven't used LinkedIn before like this, you're missing out. So we want to go for event planner. So then we want to go for people and people I do not know. So these up here, first, second, and third. First means people that I'm connected with. And second is people that I have mutual friends with or connections with. And third is like out of my sphere of people. Yeah. So if we're sticking to the second and third, that's usually what I do. I will go down here and see where they're working. I see here it's a meeting and event planner. Maybe this is somebody I would like to connect with, so I'm going to do that. Usually I send with a note, but it's in the middle of the night now, and I don't want her to see that I'm messaging her at this weird time. So I'm just going to do that. So now I am just connecting with some of these people. See here, external event planner for AstraZeneca. Oh, why not? Event planner in Stockholm. Okay, connect. So you can do this like, I count this as reaching out to people. So now I've reached out to a bunch of people. So let's see here. So before you start doing this, reach out and actually finding people, make sure your profile is like looking okay. So in my case, it says professional magician, MC, 5x TEDx speaker, and author. I have a cool photo. I have another cool photo in the background. So yeah, so when they see your requests, you want it to look very professional. And if you went to the Capital Kid Convention then there was this, I can't remember who had that lecture, but he was talking about Facebook ads, and it was very informative, like just having the visuals right, like from the start. And the same thing goes for LinkedIn, because it's like, we want that to be very professional. And one thing a lot of people are missing out on is that if we're not connected, then, oh, Christopher Weed, thank you. So one thing a lot of people are missing out on is that they have a setting that hides the profile photo if you're not connected with them. And we do have to remove that, right? So if we're not connected, we still want them to be able to see our face. So I don't remember right now exactly where to find that setting, but it is going to be under your profile setting. So make sure that you have that toggled off so people can actually see you. There is another setting that you want to remove, and that is for only people who are premium users to find you. So we want to avoid both of those two. Okay, so LinkedIn is one of the first ones that I use for this. And then there are different tools to actually finding leads. This is a good one. This gives you, I think it's 100 free leads a month. This is Apollo AI. You don't have to write this down. All of this is going to be in the resource that I'm going to send to you. So if you press here, we can search for Washington, D.C. metro area. Why not? And we want to go to job postings. No, where do we go? Up here, event planner. Okay, so that's what I already have put in. So all of these people here are people who should be working here. Business event planner for National League of Cities, I guess. Here we can press, and we got his email address, or her, I don't know, Morgan. Go down here too. National Education Association, I'm guessing. We have that one too. Now we can go access email. These are not working. I don't know why. Sometimes it says no email. Sometimes it says you have to connect with or whatever. Here is another one, Barbara Parker. Corporate events at DB can't be found. JP Morgan, I'm sure they do a lot of events. So we can find her too. Oh, there we go. A bunch of people to reach out to. So let's say you have found 100 emails, 250 emails, 1,000 emails, or whatever it is. It's now time to put these into a system where you don't have to actively send out one email at a time, right? Because that's going to take up way too much of your time. So the tool that I'm using is this one. This is a Mailshake. This is phenomenal. If you ever plan on using it, I have an affiliate link that will give me 60%. You heard that right, 60% kickback, which is great, by the way. Truly, it's an expensive program. It's like $600 a year, I believe. And I get 60% kickback just from saying that I love this product. And if that doesn't tell you to start using affiliate links, what are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? But yeah, it's phenomenal. So here we go. This is the tool that I'm currently using. I have the campaigns in here. These are the people I am, or the campaigns that I have that are going to be sent out. So here I have Destination management in Norway. 3 days ago, I added 130 people. And then down here, we have event planners, and that's like 904 people. These ones are, excuse me, these ones are paused because currently, excuse me, currently I'm on maternity leave, so I don't want to send out like millions of emails, right? So I'm going to Vegas tomorrow, and then I'll be back in 12 days, and then I'll start these again. So what these are, basically, it's a sequence of emails. Let me see, did I press the wrong one? Maybe I did. Here we go. Yeah, so the blue ones are the ones that were delivered, and then we have the bounces and unsubscribed and, bunch of different things. But the program has a couple of different things going right for them, right? So what we see here, we have an open rate of 69%, right? Isn't that crazy? And then we sent 447 of this. This one had 89% open rate, okay? 89%. And then this one had 100% open, 99% open. We had 11 replies here, 8 replies here. Down here, we have 1 or 2 here, 100% open, 100% open. So you see the power of this? Like having 250 emails and just being sent out every single day, and 100% open, 70% open, and then reaching back out to you. Poof, phenomenal. Conversion rate. It's quite low because I sent so many emails, and we have to remember that usually it needs 7 touch points before we ever make a decision to purchase anything. So it can be seeing an ad, and it can be seeing a TV commercial. It can be somebody wearing the sneakers that you want to buy, whatever it is. But they say it takes 7 touch points before somebody actually buys from you. Which tells us a couple of different things. One thing is that it's also timing. So if we're sending emails in December about Christmas shows, we're going to be too late. If we send emails about Christmas shows in February, we're too early. So the emails that we send out needs to be tailored to the season that we're sending these out. So you saw in my system, I have thousands of email addresses. We can even have a look, see how many we have. 4,500 are currently in campaigns for me. Like that's 4,500 people that are going to be sent emails. So they will be sent one email first. That's going to be a cold one. And then depending on the actions that they make, I'm going to put them in different segments later. So let's say that they opened a campaign and they replied. Now they're not cold anymore. Then I can be a little more pushy in different emails than I can with those who didn't reply before. Okay, so we could talk about this for hours. Cold outreach, it's a big topic, and it's a lot of fun, but we don't really have that much time, unfortunately. But I wanted to ask before, because it's currently 1:45 my time. It's like we should wrap up quite soon. But if you have questions, now would be the time to actually put them in the chat so I can see them before we have to wrap this up. I also want to mention something huge that it's coming. It's coming March 23rd. It's going to be phenomenal. For the past, what is it now? A year and a half, I've been doing a lot of creation for magicians and entertainers to make sure that they are bringing out their best when it comes to their business. That's one of the reasons why I wrote my book, The Business Side of Show Business. And it's also the reason why I started a YouTube channel, which is more aimed towards business side. That's why I'm here at 1:45 a.m. in the morning. And I really think that us entertainers, we have to take this more seriously, especially in an economy like this. Nothing is certain. And what we can control, we should control, especially if we have kids, we have a family to provide for. And that's something that I really, really think is important. So I have decided for the 3rd time, I am going to bring out the best in people, basically. So I only have 12 spots. It's very, very limited. 2 of them are already taken. But March 23rd is when I'm going to actually be announcing more about this. And we're going to start April 2nd. So we have a little bit of room still. Your guys are the first to hear about this. I have not put this out anywhere else. So I guess it's a Capital Kidvention exclusive for now. You're welcome, by the way. I also wanted to give you gifts. As I said, you're going to be getting some free resources after this. So let me know in the comments with a 1 or a 2. Would you prefer with 1, a list of tools that can give you 300 plus leads per month for free? Ooh, that's a shiny object. Or would you rather want my 3 email sequence that I use when emailing cold? Okay. So we have 1 list of tools that can give you 30 plus leads per month for free, or the 3 email sequence that I use to email cold. It's 1. 1, okay. Good to see you, Raven. That's a 1. That's another 1. You know, we could sit here and just wait for all the 1s and possibly a couple of 2s. I am going to do this because I feel generous today. I'm going to give you guys both. Yeah, I will. This is the QR code. I will send you all the things that you need in the upcoming days. You will be, if you scan this one, you will come to my site where you put in your email address, you put in your name, and you're going to be put into my system where I will send you all of these things. And I also want you guys to know that by going into this, like scanning this QR code, you will be entered into my newsletter where I'm going to tell you all about things. If you ever want to opt out for any reason, it's very easy to do so. There is always going to be at least 2 unsubscribe buttons. I promise I will not spam you, only send you relevant things. And I really wish you all the best on your journey. And I have a couple of more minutes to hang out if you have any more questions. And if not, thank you. This was fun. And I'm awake now.
Well, I don't know if that's a good thing for you that you're awake before you should be going to bed, but yeah. Oh, so Lori put something that maybe you'll understand that I don't.
Tack så mycket. Ja, varsågod min vän. Varsågod.
There you go. So honestly, that the you touched on AI, which is so here I want to throw a couple of these. Oh, yeah, can you put the QR code back up again? So I know you can hear me even though I can't see you. So you touched on AI, and I think that this is a topic that we as entertainers have not even really started to really talk about just yet. And it's massive. There's you mentioned I mean, just getting free leads from LinkedIn and in the other program that you spoke about. I mean, that's something that we used to have to pay for. I mean, years ago, if I wanted to send to a list, I mean, that would cost $500 to 1,000 to 1,500, depending on the list I was looking for and how many people were on that list. That's information that used to cost a lot of money. And now, what you're saying is basically you can do this for free. Getting email addresses is even harder. Getting a mailing list is one thing, but getting email addresses is actually even more expensive and tougher. But if you could do this, you know, like if you're going to do this work full time, this is part of the job, is to sit around and spend a few hours working on that kind of information, you know, just sitting back and accumulating your list. And then that's, once you've done it, once you keep adding to it, I mean, that's free. Those are free leads, that even if only, you know, 2 to 3% actually commit at one point or another, that's a massive amount of money that we did not have prior to that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And especially if we can find a way to automate this, because as I said, I take out the email addresses first, and well, actually my assistant does, and then we put it into the system, and then we play the ones that we want. Like, oh, maybe next year I want to go to Dubai. Can we find people in Dubai? Great. I want to go to Norway. Great.
Yeah, and I mean, you could do it by geographically, or you could do it by, you know, the type of business. You know, I want to focus on, you know, this particular kind of business right now, and next time I'm going to focus on this. You know, you could go after playhouses, or you could go after places that have parties,
Yeah.
and are, children's entertainment. There's so many different, I think it was SIC codes is what it used to be. So
Yeah.
there are different codes that you could look for depending on the audience that you want to attract. So yeah, that's honestly, that's a gold mine. So
It
that
is, and even you can go into ChatGPT, especially with the 4.5 one, because that goes into deep research. And what you can do is you can type in things like, um, "I am currently looking for opportunity to work with more libraries, school
right,
assemblies, whatever it is, who has had a balloon artist in the past and has used these tags on social media. Give me 15 companies who have done this and add the account that tagged them." And then you can reach out to these people. They had a balloon artist last year.
yeah,
Phenomenal.
yeah. The research I did it when they first announced it, and I asked it a question about differentiation between me and competitors, and it took
Yeah.
about 10 minutes to compute it, but the information I got within 10 minutes was mind blowing. I mean, it was something that you would have paid someone a good 2 days of research to actually figure out, and then then you would have gotten the same information that I got in 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's
For free.
yeah, for free, exactly, right.
Yeah.
So, it's a gold mine, but, just so you know that, you let me know if that QR code, because it's gonna show up in all the replays, and
Oh
so
yeah.
you're probably gonna get people joining into that at different times. So,
Yeah,
as long
yeah,
as
that's
it's
totally
okay.
fine.
Okay, good.
Totally fine.
Alright.
I also want to share one more thing about
Yeah,
the AI thing. As I said, I have a lot of these people who are the agents, and a few of them I work very, very closely with. Some of them are close friends. One of them actually invited me to his 40th birthday party. I want to show you this. I want to show you this. Let me see here. Calendar. So he has direct access to my calendar, so he put in his birthday party in my calendar. So nobody else can book me this date because he wants me to go to his birthday party, which is really fun. But I called him up, talked to him on the phone, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just talking shit. We had coffee basically, and it was great. And he said, "Oh, Caroline, you know what? I would love to book you on all the things, Caroline, I want to book you for. Why are you not talking about AI?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? I can talk about AI. It's like I use AI all the time." And I spent the rest of that day just creating, an AI thing. And then AI, like ChatGPT, helped me take out and create like the outline of the thing. So I don't have it here, unfortunately, because it's in a different document. I can't find it easily. Um, but ChatGPT helped me create the thing that I then pitched to the agent. So it's called AI Can't Read Your Mind, but I Can. And it's an interactive like session. It's an hour where I talk about AI, the foundations of AI, what it is, how we use it, how we prompt correctly, and I tie it all up in using magic tricks and mind reading. And I think it's going to be so much fun. And it's a huge gap in the market because everybody's talking about AI right now. And what I've noticed is that most of the times when I'm out actually like doing MC gigs and stuff like this, uh, the AI lectures is like way up here. It's way over everybody's head. It's like they can never use this information. And I want to be able to bring it down, make it into something that people can actually use every single day and give them away something like they can go away the next day and actually use it in their real life business. Like I think that's just the way to do it.
yeah. I've often said in some of my business lectures that technology is changing. It changes at a much faster rate as time has gone on. It used to be technology is changing every 5 to 10 years, prior to the 2000s. But after
Yeah.
we've hit the 2000s, technology is changing faster. And now it's about every 6 months, we've got new technology changes. And the chat GPT is changing about every 3 months or every 2 months now. Or I should say just AI in general. And so it's up to us to stay up with the technology, because if you don't, your competitors will, and it's just going to leave you behind. And so, yeah, we
Yeah.
must stay up with technology.
Yeah, you can if you don't know how to prompt in ChatGPT, you can ask it to help you.
Right.
Like you can you can literally ask it to be, I want to be a better prompter. I want to be able to use you better. Please help me. And it will create like a mini course for you and actually train you. Um, yeah.
It's it's I don't think we've even come close to even tapping into how awesome it's going to be. But anyways, all right. I know your time is coming to an end now. I know
Oh, let's
your
hope not.
yeah, no, your business is going to give you a reminder here shortly, so that you have to go.
I
So
do have to
anyways,
go.
thank you so much. I really appreciate you hanging out at 1 o'clock and now probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and sharing this information because I actually, honestly, I went into this thinking this was going to be great information for magicians, but honestly, what you just did is information that everyone needs to know. I mean, this is no matter what type of entertainer you are, you have to have this information because it's important, and I think it's going to benefit everyone. So
Yeah.
after this, I'll make sure to remind people to watch this replay because it's going to be information that's good for everyone. So I appreciate it.
100%. And I still have my book available. So if anybody wants to get it, it's I don't have the yeah, but you have it. There's only 100 copies of this one, so it's signed and it's numbered. You can also get the PDF version if you prefer that. I am flying to Vegas tomorrow, so if you want to get a physical copy, they're going to be sold out in a week. So
Mm.
100%. So if you want a physical one, you should get it now, and you get it at book.ravenmagic.com. That's where to find it.
Is there any way we could type that out? So let's
Yeah,
see
can I put it in a chat
if
somewhere?
you put yeah, you can put it in the chat, or if you put it in our private chat, I'll put it in there.
I'm not really sure where I find the chat, if I'm
All
being
right, don't worry. So we'll do it later. Send me the link, and then I'll
I'll
add
send you
it.
the link.
I'll add it to that. So, all right. Thank you so much. That was so
Thank
kind, and I
Of
appreciate
course.
all of your
And
time
if you
today.
ever want me to come back to talk about AI, I'd be happy to do so.
Oh, here.
Probably in a different time.
How's
That's
this
the one.
link?
Yes,
Okay,
thank
good.
you.
There you go. So it's already in the chat. So thanks, Topher. All right. Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, best of
Yeah,
luck with
good.
everything.
Yeah, good luck in Vegas.
It's gonna be fun.